email the teacher. Don't hesitate to email the principal. I take calls. My assistant takes calls. And if I can't get the answer, I know somebody at the schools will. Okay? It's an open door policy in a sense that we're going to come here and talk about education, and we're going to talk about what we can and cannot do and what your child can and cannot do. So that's the direction we're taking. It's a progressive approach, and for those parents that can't make it, and I'd really like to see more parents involved the next time around, but for those parents who can't make it, we will be providing this program on our website. And if a parent decides they want to view it, or they must view it before your child to graduate, they notify us that they need the link to the website. Then we have a rolling record of those parents. And if they can't do that, we will be providing DVDs as well with a sign-in, so that we know all the parents are involved. At least all the parents now know about their academics, about what's required, and what this career portfolio can do for a child. Just think, with a portfolio like this at the end of their high school career, they can utilize this portfolio when they go to a post-secondary and say, not only here are my transcripts, but here are all the other activities that I've been involved in. And that not only may help them academically, maybe get them a few more credits, okay, for them that they don't have to take, but possibly get into scholarships, get into other groups within the university that's going to help them improve their chances after college. And also, this can be used as part of a resume when you go for a job. And this is what I've done throughout my high school career. And they see everything that's on here. And as your students, your children get to look at this, you'll be able to look at it too, hopefully on parent nights in the near future. Again, we're still working out some of the bugs, but it's come a long way very fast. So I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience and listening. And I have two gentlemen I'd like to introduce who I've worked closely with the last few years. And their goal is this: to develop a workforce that's going to be productive not only in the local area, but in the region and wherever else those children may land. Okay, we have with us Bill Thompson, who's the Director of the Workforce Investment Board for Fayette and Westmoreland County. And I'd like Bill to come up and talk about how this board has worked with our students here and how it's working with students and businesses together. Bill?
Thank you, Dr. Savini, and appreciate the opportunity to speak to parents and to, again, community members. As Phil mentioned, you know, one of the roles that my board play, we play kind of, I guess, lack of a better word, a spokesman for all businesses, representing, you know, businesses from manufacturing to healthcare, to building and construction, to business and financial services. And the role of that is to try to help better have the education community interface with the business community to understand what their needs are, what they're saying to us, what they want to see in future employees. And then I think from a community standpoint, one of the goals is, you know, we live and work in these communities. We want these communities to grow and to prosper and to keep especially our young people here. So that's kind of the role. That's what we're about. That's what our mission is. And one of the things that I think is a truism that has really come to fruit here these last several years is the understanding that all young people need some type of post-secondary education. Now, I think what that message comes with, though, is that does not mean it's necessarily a four-year program, that it's just as critical to have some type of training that maybe is only 1 year after high school or 2 years after high school, but at least some type of training that builds on the skills that you're going to receive here in your high school education. I think as a parent myself, if someone would have maybe told me that 8 years ago, I would have hopefully directed my sons not to only look at a four-year program, but look at some type of training, be it a technical school, be it, again, what's even available to you in the high school through your career and technical center here. But importantly, learning those technical skills that, again, fall into those industries that I just talked about: manufacturing, healthcare, business and financial services, the trades, and finally, you know, here in Fayette County, certainly the hospitality tourism industry. Those are the kind of growth industries that'll happen. The other message that I just want to get across, one thing employers say to us is about the need for people coming to them with soft skills. Now, I think that's something that I'm sure parents, you've been working on from day one with your children. Those kind of skills such as problem solving, those skills such as working in a team, those skills such as reporting on time, being accountable for your, I guess, particular task, or being accountable for your actions. Those are the kind of skills that when businesses say to us, they mean soft skills. Those are critical to businesses. They'd love to see young people or their new employees coming to the workplace with those kind of skills. And then finally, just the last point that I want to make, I think what I really, again, champion and congratulate the school for moving in this direction. One of the things that, again, I think is critical is to start making those career choices, or at least narrowing your career options as you really entered the 9th grade and start to progress through high school. How do you do some of that? I think what's critical is doing more career exploration, using the portfolio as a way to start to, again, narrow or expand your options. How else do you do that? I think it's critical to do more self-assessment, more job shadowing, if you can, more experiences around mentoring with somebody that is currently in a field that you might have some interest in, or a career that you'd like to explore. Those kind of opportunities, and I think certainly the portfolio that Dr. Savini talked about, will help you kind of catalog those things, help you make a better focus, start to narrow your choices down. Those are kind of the critical ingredients, I think, to help you and help your son or your daughter make those choices. And again, I think bottom line, what we all want, people to be productive, people to be members of our community, and often help our businesses grow and expand here in Fayette County. So again, thank you, and appreciate again the opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you, Bill. And for your information, folks, the Workforce Investment Board did fund the career portfolio, getting it developed and printed. So they've been very supportive. Also, the board funded the summer program with our students in the video development project we had with Douglas Institute and Educational Center in Monessen, and that was about a $70,000 grant. So we do appreciate your support. The next gentleman I'd like to bring up is Mr. Jeff Kelly. He's a member of the Workforce Investment Board, entrepreneur in manufacturing in Westmoreland County. He has a strong belief in what we're doing here tonight. For the last 4 years that I've been on the board, Mr. Kelly has championed what we need to do is understand what's going on in schools as a business, and then help them and support them. And this is what he's been doing. And he's also, I'm very happy to serve with him on a committee that is looking at helping to give a direct funding source to our career centers. Now that does a lot. That does a lot in that it may help our career centers develop programs at a faster pace than having to have it funded through the schools. It also helps the schools where they can actually use that funding source for other things at home. So it's a win-win. And we're working on that with a few other folks. And the progress is slow, but I'd rather have progress at a slower pace and methodical rather than moving ahead not knowing where you're going. But Jeff really doesn't have to be here. He has a family at home in Westmoreland. Came from work and came all the way down here, and I do